Hey, welcome back to Monsterhearts 2, Kingsport 1976. I'm Kat, because I keep forgetting to say that at the beginning of this. We have our crew back again tonight to do the finale of our little Lovecraft-themed Monsterhearts set during the bicentennial weekend, 1976. So I'm going to just let them introduce themselves. Let's start with Jim playing Evelyn, the witch.
All right. Evelyn is. I think we've sort of established that Evelyn is the only one of our characters who actually really pays attention in school. She is the studious one. She's the witch who became a witch by studying, by reading the books that her mom brought home from Miskatonic University because she's the librarian there. Her dad is a sonar operator on a submarine. Who may or may not be descended from the very submarine officers who were responsible for destroying the reef that the deep ones used to inhabit. And I have been kind of, with the help of my delinquent friends, exploring what it is like to just not to not always do exactly what I'm supposed to. And it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, this will totally work out. And your dad may be in town for the weekend. So.
Yes, for the bicentennial, yes, and with all the tall ships coming into Boston Harbor.
Boston. So great. Let's talk with Jesse, who plays Cal, who is a deep one or a serpentine, if you want to know what the playbook is.
Yeah, so I'm playing Calvin Pemberton, whose family has been in Kingsport as long as there have been people in Kingsport, going back to Puritan days. And at a certain point, the people mingled with other kinds of people, deep ones. So here we are, a beautiful mix of the human and the inhuman. So Calvin is kind of a jock. He runs. He basically just wants to fit in and be friends with everybody. But he's also personally very devoted to the church he was raised in, which is a Dagon cult masquerading as a Congregationalist church community, and his elevation into the next level of initiation, the adult level of initiation, is scheduled for the bicentennial, and he has been asked by Reverend Wilkins, the head of the community, to enlist Evelyn's aid in this ritual. Meanwhile, weird, creepy hippie pastor, Jimmy Tran. What was his last name?
It's Trom, actually.
Jimmy Trom has been mucking about in the church's business, and Calvin does not like that.
This, again, will work out completely well with cookies. So let's talk with Dylan, who plays Tom, the Chosen.
Okay, so Tom Duffy, he's just kind of your average kid. Doesn't really stand out. He's not a jock or a brain. He likes to play D&D and this new game, D&D. And he likes to just hang out, have fun. He got a summer job as a cook at Friendly's. And he also happens to be chosen. And he is... he's good friends with Jackie and Evelyn, and they kind of help him a little bit. He's kind of just coming into his chosen self, and they've been, they kind of help him out. He, in fact, he just fought his first werewolf and lived, and he's pretty happy about that until he found out it was Jackie, but then he was sad about it. But yeah, so that's Tom. He's been having these weird visions lately, thanks to with the help of the was it Lao? Is it the drug?
Yeah, the Lao powder.
The Lao powder, and he's been having weird visions. Something big, something coming, and this giant eye. He keeps seeing this giant eye, and he hasn't been sleeping very well because of these visions.
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about.
Oh,
and last, and definitely not least, Bethany, who plays Jackie the werewolf.
Yeah. So, Jackie just turned into a wolf and attacked her friend. So, there's that. Aside from being a werewolf, she works on cars with her family, or this kind of chaotic, ever-changing, who actually lives here, sort of family, and she's done a ridiculous amount of acid and looked into the abyss way too many times. During the course of the last, few weeks. So she's just trying to figure out how to either not become a wolf again or control what she does, when she turns into a wolf and what she does while she is one.
Cool. So, as Cal said, he has been tasked by the Reverend Perdition Wilkins of his church to have Evelyn assist at their services. So I think the first scene should be when that actually happens. So, Cal, where do you make that approach?
So, I've actually been thinking about this for the better part of a week. This has been very much on my mind. And I think, so I think it actually waits until maybe the third. I'm not sure exactly what the timing of the day will be, but or even the morning of the bicentennial. But let's say maybe Saturday the 3rd. You mentioned that it was on a Sunday. And what I'm thinking is it's been a couple weeks, right? Our last session took place in June, and it kind of ended with Tom pulling a string to help his buddy out, and asking Evelyn to just not be quite so hostile. And I think towards Calvin, who has provoked her. And so I think kind of what's been happening, Evelyn, tell me how you feel about this, but is that over the past couple weeks, I've been kind of trying to soften you up a little bit. Maybe the first day, when you were sitting in your booth at Friendly's doing your work, I just brought you over, right, orange sherbet cooler, without being asked, and didn't make you pay for it. And then sort of over time, sort of just doing that, then I start talking to you a little bit, and maybe I'm partly pushing on your fuming condition a little bit, in that you're still mad at me, that hasn't gone away from shutting down your investigation of Father Jimmy, but you can't, you won't talk about it. You're angry. You're fuming. That's what fuming is, right? You're keeping it in. So we talk about everything else very casual small talk, and because you haven't brought up that anger, I'm kind of oblivious to it. But we're sort of I've been trying to rebuild that relationship, and as a favor to Tom, you've been willing to tolerate me. And like, so I'm feeling pretty good about it, and you're feeling however you're feeling. But like, at least you've outwardly been not antagonistic. And so like the day before, I'm going to sit down and say, listen, I got some stuff you might be interested in. You can see something cool and also help me out. That was a lot of me talking. I'm sorry. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds completely legit. Yeah, I guess we didn't talk about my clearing fuming off. I guess there's no reason for me not to still be fuming. And I kind of like the idea that I'm like, I like the idea that you think I feel better about it, but I'm biting my tongue because Tom asked me to, which is like perfect for fuming, because then it's just like, okay, yeah, that totally works. That's great.
Okay, good. I'm glad. So I think maybe I bring you over. Who knows? Maybe you don't even really want another orange sherbet cooler, right? Like, maybe that was just what you wanted that one time, and I've decided it's your drink. But I bring you over another orange sherbet cooler. You know, I sit down and I say, okay, if I sit down for a couple minutes, I got my break now.
Sure.
So listen, Evelyn, I got something I wanna talk to you about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know how I'm a member of the church down by the beach.
And this is one of those things where, like, every night I come in, I lay like whatever, like the schoolwork for the people that I'm tutoring, the summer classes that I'm doing, the, I guess, test prep or whatever it is that I'm helping people with. And so like every night you talk to me, and mostly I have my head down and occasionally I put it up and nod. And like, this is no different. Like, you say that and I'm like writing and I go, uh-huh.
I love that. That's great. So I say, what do you know about that church, about my church?
And I stop and I put my pencil down. And I do that thing where I like kind of like my chin is down and I'm kind of looking at you like, you know, like kind of, you know, like under my eyebrows kind of. And I say, not a lot. It's been there a long time. There's something strange going on with it, but there's something strange going on with all these little single denomination churches. They're all here from back in the days when every town was its own religion in New England.
Yeah. So
why?
Yeah, sorry. So we do this thing. It's like kind of like a bar mitzvah that the Jews do, but like a little bit older. You know, when we're actually adults. And maybe it's also kind of like confirmation. I don't know. Anyways, the thing is, I'm like having a real hard time telling her this, right? Like, this is not just, this is like, and she's like not making it easier for me, of course. I can see. And like, then I just sort of mutter under my breath, fuck it. And I show her my face. That's it. I just...
Right in the middle of the restaurant?
So I looked around first, like, it's pretty dead.
Okay.
Tom's maybe in the kitchen, but we have it to ourselves. Like, it's the back corner booth. If someone walks in, I just show her my face.
You have a move for that.
I do. So, you know, Evelyn, and you can accept me and mark experience, or if you reject me, I can take one forward against you.
So please tell me exactly what that looks like.
I think it's like a little bit Creature of the Black Lagoon-y, right? So like I'm picturing kind of like the head, thin spines, scaly face, but kind of softer and more human than that, right? So like I still have, instead of like that weird like ridgy thing on top, like I still have kind of a round head. There's like some tufts of hair there maybe coming out of the scales. My eyes are maybe a little farther apart than a normal person's, but they're still those sort of like cold human eyes, flatter nose, right? That kind of look, like a fish person, but still visibly a person.
So I guess the thing that I'm really curious about is like, is this a like, it's not like a Mission Impossible, like you pull off a rubber mask and underneath you've got like, is it like, is there a like a ripple? Is it a gradual thing? Like, does your skin kind of just slowly change like a face morph? Like what is the...
So I think it's the kind of thing where it would be underwhelming on film, right? But it's kind of like you blink and then my face is something different, and you like there was no moment of transition. Like it's possible that if you had like held your eyes open, but of course that's not possible, right? That's not how this works. The way it works is like in a moment, in a nanosecond of your inattention is when the flip happens.
Okay, so that happens. And I sit there like silent for like 10 full seconds.
So and I think, sorry, do your thing.
Go ahead, yeah.
I would say at second 8, I start blabbering about this is like, you know, these are my people. This is like where we have affinity with the sea. We were like, this is,
and you get like
our church.
You get like 3 words of that out, and I literally do that thing where I like put a fingertip to your lips, right, to like quiet you, and I smirk, and I say, "This is why Tom is friends with you."
I mean, I think Tom's friends with me because he's a good guy, but yeah, he knows.
Hey, Evelyn, why don't you roll that shut someone down thing?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Maybe not on purpose, but
yeah.
it's kind of what happens.
That's amazing.
I rolled a 5.
Oh, that's fun. That is fun. Okay.
Oh, and I mark an XP for accepting him.
You are accepting him. That's fantastic.
Fantastic. That's exciting.
And yeah, like the smirk is now I get it. Like now I get what your deal is. Like it did, like I react neither with horror nor with fascination, like, but with like intellectual satisfaction. You know, like, okay, that's the puzzle piece that I was missing. And I kind of raise an eyebrow and I say, is it an effort to look normal?
No, I mean that's part of who I am too.
Is it an effort to look like that?
They're both, it's me. I guess I have to think about it, but you know, it's just sort of about like who are you talking to and how do you want them to see you.
Yeah, I think I get that.
So listen, and I like kind of like
so your whole family.
Yeah, my whole church.
Oh,
It's not a big church.
Okay. All right.
There, 50,
So
50 of us on Sundays and a few more on Annunciation.
What does any of that have to do with me?
So,
unless this is about the eye. Are you fighting the eye too?
I don't even know what the eye is.
How do you not know what the eye is?
Tell me what the eye is.
It's a huge eye in the water. Like deep in the ocean. We've all seen it. I think your creep is mixed up in it somehow.
Yeah, that creep's a creep, and I wouldn't mind getting him out of our business. But listen, maybe all of this fits together somehow. So tomorrow, I'm having this ceremony, this thing, right? This for my church, where I'm as a kid, like I know a little bit, but I don't know a lot. There's levels in the church. Different people have different access.
What time?
And they know. Oh,
what time?
I tell them the time. I tell her the time. I'm not sure. Like, what time did we decide we want it to be? Later in the day, probably, for more activity before, or in the morning.
I think the actual ceremony will probably be in the evening. Totally coincidental with the fireworks. No reason. Don't worry about it.
Got it.
But I think probably the Rev will want to talk to Evelyn to go over the details in the morning, maybe after services.
So Reverend Wilkins wants to talk to you because he thinks like maybe you could even play a part in the ceremony, and we know an awful lot about the sea. We can maybe figure out something about this. Maybe I'll be learning to do.
Wait. Why does Reverend Wilkins think I can play a part in this? What have you been telling him?
So I reach out and I'm picturing that her hand is still kind of on the pencil on the table, and I put my hand and look at her eyes with my fishy eyes, and I say, I have not told him a thing. You know what this town's like. Everyone knows what happened with Chip, and he thinks that what you can do, and I think that what you can do, is a beautiful, powerful thing.
Are you trying to turn me on here?
Maybe a little bit.
I invite you to roll.
As do I.
Oh, I am very bad at hot.
Theoretically, you could claim the +1. I mean, are you furthering the family's goals here?
Oh, 100%. I'm going to claim that +1. And that's a 6 + 1 is a 7.
Cool. So Evelyn's choice to either give you a string or to choose one of the reactions.
Y'all, I'll give you a string.
All right.
I kind of nod, like like the the everybody knows what happened to Skip thing is like, okay, yeah, everybody does know what happened to Skip. So like I kind of nod and I shrug and I say, Well, all right. When are you going to pick me up?
I'll come by your house. I'll call you later just to confirm because we don't want. I'm going to talk to you this time, no matter what. But let's say 9 o'clock, and I'll double check it with the Reverend just to make sure that that's when he wants to see you. You good with that?
I just need to be really clear about the fact that if you stand me up again, you will never talk to me again.
100%. I will make sure to communicate with you, to talk to you every step of the way. You will know. This is why I want to confirm. It's going to happen. It will happen, everyone. I promise.
And this is really nice. I say, like, kind of. I said, this is very nice of you. Like pointing to the sherbet cooler, which has just been sitting there, so it's like melted, and like the like the sherbet is like it's like kind of settled into like sediments, kind of in the in the glass. And I say, I really would just like a 7-Up, please.
All right. And I said, my break's over anyway. And I get up with the sherbet cooler, and there's like, I go to get the 7-Up. Sorry, I come right back with the 7-Up, and I say, and this is like I say, also, just so you know, you were 100% right about Jimmy Trom. 100%. And I walk away and get back to work. And someone just walked in.
Fantastic. Cool. Yeah. So Jackie, you're working on cars with your cousins, and your little brother comes out and is like, "Yo, Jackie!
What?
There's some chick here to talk to you."
Some chick.
Yeah, some chick.
That's
I don't know.
real helpful. All right. I get up and like kind of try to wipe the grease off my hands. It's not coming off, and like go.
So sitting on the front porch, nervously smoking a cigarette, is Maureen.
Huh. Right. Yes. Hey, Maureen.
Hey, Jackie. I know I've been like avoiding you for a while, right?
That's okay. I'd avoid me too.
Listen, when you took that stuff and the thing happened, and I was a little freaked out,
Yeah.
But like, I've been thinking about it, and it's like you've got like power, and that's like a thing that like I've always wanted. I'm just like, how did this happen? This thing.
I don't know. It just happened.
You didn't get bit by no wolf or anything, huh?
Not that I remember. I mean, I got bit by a dog when I was like 3, but I think it would have happened, a long time ago if that was it.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. I mean, I don't know. None of this makes any sense, but like does this happen all the time to you?
No. No, that's the only time.
Is it like a full moon thing? I mean, I don't understand how this works.
It seems to maybe be the Lao. I've kind of felt like something was happening a couple times I've taken it, but yeah, this last time was as soon as it kicked in.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say that like if you take it, you're gonna something crazy and weird's gonna happen to you. I mean, a lot of people. That stuff's getting real popular around here, and I haven't seen a whole lot of people transforming into animals. So,
But I've been dreaming of stuff. Like, I dreamed of you a lot. I don't know what that means, but look, I'm sorry I avoided you. If you still want to come and hang out with me on the common tomorrow when we're playing, I'd like that.
yeah, yeah, I would. I'd like that too. Yes, I'll come.
Okay, cool. Is everybody here your family?
More or less.
Gee,
I don't know how many are blood related, but yeah, a lot of them were just like here for the summer, just passing through. Or my cousin got back from Vietnam and like has just been here ever since. And they come and go.
You got like a whole pack, and then she realizes what she said. And like, oh, I'm sorry. No, I mean, are they all like?
No, I don't. Well, I don't think so. I mean, I think I probably. Well, I don't know if any of them's ever taken Laos. So, my cousin said something like, maybe it happened to him once, but said he didn't really remember it much.
Okay, cool. All right then. So she'll hang out with you for a while if you want to do anything.
Yeah, cool. Oh, we're gonna go listen to the Ramones tape.
Oh, beautiful. With what intent? Just hanging out?
Yeah, I think just hanging out.
That is totally fine. Why don't you take a string on Marine?
Sure.
And yeah, so let's check in with Tom. What's Tom up to besides short order cooking?
He's short order cooking. He's playing D&D. He's been practicing his guitar. He's getting a little bit better. That's pretty much been Tom's summer the last couple of weeks. Work, guitar, and D&D.
Right. That was my summers when I was growing up, except for the guitar bit. Cool. So Misty tools up to you one night when you're out taking your smoke break behind the friendlies. It's like, Tommy.
Hey, Missy.
Hey, you wanna make some more money?
What do I gotta do?
Like, everybody wants to take Lao, right? So, we're going to be giving out some starter packs tomorrow and, selling some. And, like, if you're going to give me a hand with that, because, like, I can trust you. I can't trust these other freaks.
I'm not. Lao was so yesterday. I'm, I think it's time to move on. Maybe find something new for the, it's the bicentennial. Maybe pick a new drug.
I didn't know you felt that way about it. I mean, I thought you liked it.
It's all right, but I think it's time to move on.
Okay. In that case, maybe you don't want to drink any lemonade tomorrow.
Any lemonade?
Yeah, just, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Wow. Really?
No, we're not gonna give it to no kids. We're just gonna, spike it a little. It's fine. It's totally safe. It's safer than acid.
Well, I don't know about that. I've had a couple of weird experiences.
Well, that's fair. I mean,
Jackie had a blackout, and she had a blackout.
Yeah, okay. I heard something weird happened with her, but I hear about that dog that jumped into the church. Sounds so weird.
Yeah, I heard about it. That's that church down is down by the water. It's got all kinds of fishy smells and stuff like that. So it's probably some just hungry dog, stray dog.
Well, I'm telling you, Tommy, we score big tomorrow, and then I do a little bit more over the summer. I am out of here. I'm going to LA. Screw this place. This place can rot. You
Huh.
you ever think of going out to California?
Nah,
Oh,
no need. I got everything I need here.
really? Kingsport?
Why not?
It's nothing. It's a podunk town. It's not even got I mean, at least Arkham's got the university. This place got nothing.
Well, that's probably where I'll end up going to Arkham because I got to stay home and help my mom anyway.
Well, all right. Like Arkham Tech, right? UMass Arkham. Cool. Cool. So, what is everybody's bicentennial plans? We know that Cal's going to church and Evelyn's going to hang out with them. What's Tommy and Jackie planning besides maybe playing with Marine, hanging out with Marine on the common?
I would like to find out more about this whole, wolf thing. I think I'm a little bit less like scared of it. It's been, a couple weeks and nothing's happened, and the like terror of the experience has faded. And
was that the first time you ever turned into a wolf, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
I think I had started to a few times and didn't really realize what was going on. This is the first time it completely happened, and I could not deny what was going on. So yeah, I would like to know more about that, because now I'm thinking, that could be useful sometimes. I'd like to, be able to control it. Just choose
who would you like to talk to about the wolf thing?
See, both Tom and Evelyn have books on this topic. But Evelyn said she was going to go research it, so I think I'll talk to her.
Cool. Where do you run into her on a sultry Saturday afternoon or evening?
Let's see, where does Evelyn hang out other than Friendlies and the school?
The library.
Right. Okay. And yes, obviously. Yeah, so I go to the library and in hopes of either finding a book or running into Evelyn.
And if you know anything about New England, literally every town has its own, dedicated library. That's a separate standing building. No matter how small or large, every little New England town takes pride in having the library, the town library. So, yeah, I'm in the library when you come find me.
Okay, and I think it's not such a small town that the library is in a house trailer, which is it was in my town when I was a kid.
No, it's going to be a brick building from the 1800s, probably built just maybe even pre-Civil War, depending on renovated. But if it's especially because of the bicentennial, it's almost certainly a Revolutionary War era building that's been restored and stuff on the inside. So
there's definitely red, white, and blue streamers over the door for
there's like bunting and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, for sure.
All the end cap displays are American history. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I come in and I start out just kind of looking for books, and then it occurs to me that you hang out here, and this time of day, and I kind of try to look like I'm not searching for you, but I'm totally searching for you.
Yeah. I like, and I'm whatever. I think I'm probably, back in the reference room. Like I said, like I go through the newspapers for the day, and whatever. And I've probably got a stack of 4 or 5 history books and I'm flipping through them and I've got like whatever, like a trapper keeper there with a bunch of 3-ring binder paper and I'm jotting notes down in it and stuff like that. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's
a bunch of bookmarks stuck in like a bunch of different books, little tassel bookmarks.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the door probably has a window in it, and I like look and see. Oh, there she is. What a coincidence! I didn't expect to see you here.
Oh, hey Jackie.
Yeah,
I've been working on that research, but it's slow going.
But why is it so slow?
Because there's this is not the kind of thing where I can just ask the librarian.
Yeah, good point. I didn't ask either.
I've got to look through a bunch of like old newspapers and journals, and a lot of the kind of thing we're looking for is buried under other stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not a thing where people just come right out and say and talk about, the kind of things that are going on right now. You've got to decipher it.
Yeah. Maureen said something that I don't know if would help or not, but
I look super dubious at that idea.
Yes. She wanted to know if it like ran in my family, and my cousin said something about it. Like maybe it had happened to him once, and so maybe it does run in my family. So things with my family's been in this town for a long time, so that might be something to look for. And yeah, they'd probably just call it a dog attack, right? Or a big giant dog sighted.
Yeah. Or there hasn't been proper wolves around here in a long time, but certainly it's a thing that there used to be a lot of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why were you talking to Maureen about this?
It happened. She was there.
When?
When I turned into a wolf, she was there.
How come you didn't say something about this before?
I thought I did. I said I took Lau with Maureen and turned into a wolf. Right? Anyway, yeah, she saw.
I felt like you ran away. I didn't realize she knew all along what was going on. I mean, does she know about the rest of us?
No, wait. The rest of who? I know you.
Us.
I know you hex people. I know Tom has. Okay. No, just me. And she seemed nice about it. Like she came over today
and Calvin.
No, what's up with Calvin?
How do you not know what's going on with Calvin?
I
thought sure.
I'll talk to him in a couple weeks. I should. I'm a bad friend. Trying to stop ghosting on people.
Calvin is unique like the rest of us. I mean, in a different way than the rest of us. But like the rest of us.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm not. What can he do?
Well, he can make his face look like a fish. And I'm not sure what else that means, but it wasn't a trick or I mean, he wasn't wearing a mask or anything like that, but there's something going on with him and his family in that church, and I think it's all related to and the eye has something to do with it.
I believe you. I was just thinking the priest, the old priest. There was something kind of weird and fishy about him too, and the church always smells like dead fish or kelp or like low tide. Can they all do that?
I don't know. That's why I'm going tomorrow.
Oh man, that's awesome.
You and Tom should be ready
to go
for whatever is going to happen tomorrow, because something is going to happen. I just don't know what it is.
Wait, you think the church has something to do with it? Okay. I mean,
the church absolutely has something to do with it. That's why Calvin asked me to be there. And he told me that his pastor specifically asked for me because of what happened.
Oh shit. I think I remember something. I wasn't thinking super clearly. But
is there any way that he would have known it was you?
The priest? No, I don't think so. But he did say something. He called me an imp, I think. That's like a kind of demon, right? Or monster, or
yes.
It's not a wolf.
No, it's not a wolf. I think he had no idea what you were or what was happening. So he just reached for the thing he knew.
Okay. Anyway, he said something about right before he started doing a hex. He said something about a sacrifice, that I would make a good sacrifice.
What?
It wasn't like I could ask him what he meant.
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but you and Tom should be. No, you should be there. You should be ready.
Yeah. No, and now he wants Calvin to bring you. I'm not there to sacrifice. I don't. No, Calvin would never do that.
No, but Calvin might be. Calvin may not know what role he's actually playing in all of this. That seems.
Yeah, I think Tom and I better be there.
In fact, with Calvin, that seems like the most likely thing that's going on.
Yeah.
Calvin wants everybody to be happy.
Yeah.
So Calvin will do whatever they want him to do.
And it's not like you're right. They wouldn't tell him.
Of course not.
Yeah, I think we all need to be there. Get all your hexes ready.
Oh yes. And part of this research is to come up with something else in case we need it.
Yeah. I need to know. Now I really need to know how to control it. I don't want to hurt any of you.
We know to stay out of your way.
And you can all take care of yourselves.
You don't need to worry about controlling it. You need to find a way to be able to let it out when you need to.
You know, I think that's why you're all my friends. I know you can defend yourselves. I'm glad that Tom stabbed me. That's nothing. If he'd have just been like, a normal person, I could have killed him.
Well, if he was a normal person, we wouldn't be drawn to him.
That's true.
All right. I'm not getting anywhere with this, and I kind of start closing books, and I say, if there are some other books I need to read at home if I'm going to be ready for tomorrow. You'll talk to Tom?
Yeah, and I guess I need to score some Lao.
No.
That's how I turn into.
No.
That's how it works.
No, it's not. It's not. You can do this.
You want to rely on? I've never done it just without.
I'd much rather rely on you than rely on some drugs that we don't know what's in them.
Okay. I'm totally lying, by the way.
Well, it probably won't be too hard to score Lao, apparently.
No, easy. Get some lemonade.
Yeah, and I think I think that's our scene. I'm closing up the books, and I'm going to go home and do a little bit of extra research. And I just got in advance, so I'm gonna on the fly while you're talking to other people here for the next 5 to 10 minutes, write a new acts.
Cool.
Excellent. So I think before we go to break, let's check in with Cal. What's up with you this evening? I mean, an obvious scene that presents itself would be to talk with Tom while you're both working, or you could go home. I mean,
right.
I'm curious as to what you want.
So I think there are two things I want to make sure happens. One of them doesn't have to happen on screen. I just want to make sure that it's clear that it happens, which is the phone call to Evelyn. I think that's important. But the second, but yeah, I think a scene with Tom would actually be great. Maybe like during close when he's cleaning up the kitchen.
Oh, I like that idea.
I'm wiping the tables down, and we're just doing the general close routine.
It was super busy today too, because you have all the people coming up to spend the weekend by the seashore for Bicentennial.
Right. See the fireworks over the Cape. So I think I just start out by saying, "Hey Tom, thanks a lot for talking to Evelyn for me. It made a big difference, and I really appreciate it."
Oh yeah, you bet, Cal. Glad to
So
help.
you got any big bicentennial plans?
Yeah, I'll probably go down and hang out. Hang out with everyone at the waterfront. Maybe I'll see what Evelyn's up to. We saw you talking to her during your break. I didn't have a chance. It was so busy I couldn't even get away from the fryer. What were you talking about?
No. So I don't know if I told you about this. I might have. I got this big church thing tomorrow. We do like a coming of age initiation thing when they decide that we're old enough to really, like a lot like some of the Baptists, but not like the Baptists. But once you're old enough to make a decision, we do a thing, and so that's happening for me tomorrow.
Well,
and
congratulations.
Thank you. So I don't know. Evelyn's coming to see it and maybe even help out a little bit. I don't know much about the details, and I'm going to be honest with you, Tom. I'm a little bit worried about it.
Oh yeah.
Like, the church is the church, and I've known Reverend Wilkins since I was a kid, and they look after me, and they look after my family, and we all look after each other. And, you know, there's power in religion. You know what I mean? There's something real there. We make contact with higher planes, and it makes us strong. But this new guy, this Jimmy Traum guy, he's been futzing around and he's been preaching, and I'm worried he's been whispering in Reverend Wilkins' ear.
Now,
Our ways are our ways. You know what I mean? I don't like it when people meddle.
so this is, you know, more than just regular old Christian church stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
this has to do with, you know, who you are.
I mean, yeah, it does. But you talk to the right Christians, they'll tell you the same things about their churches. But yeah, for me, it's not. You know, Jesus does not play a big part in what we do.
So you're worried you're going to make a mistake or make a fool of yourself, or what?
You know that guy. He's been creeping around, the party on the head. You told me what happened. Like, he's been I don't think I'm going to do anything wrong. I don't think Evelyn's going to do anything wrong. But I'm a little worried that
that guy Tram's going to do something wrong? Like on purpose?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what he wants. Do you know what he wants? I don't know what he wants. It freaks me out.
Creepy. He is really creepy.
He's really creepy, and he's got his whispers in Reverend Wilkins' ear. And
yeah, your Reverend, no offense, he's a little creepy too.
He's just old. Old people always have that smell. But he's a good man, and he's, like I said, he's looked after us for a long time.
He always gives me the weird look, like he knows me, or like I did something to him.
He doesn't, you know, insiders, outsiders. The older generation, like, it's harder for them to look at someone who's not one of us and trust. That's part of why I don't get this whole trust. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I like pick up the mop and like just sort of push it around a little bit without doing much. The mop water's all dirty. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing.
So how long does this thing go?
I don't know. We're talking to the Reverend in the morning just to get like the script and what the deal is, and then the things around sundown. I don't know how long it lasts. They told me nothing yet. It's a very
You're gonna miss the fireworks?
Probably, yeah. Maybe I can catch the end. I don't know.
Huh. All right. Well, we'll be down that way anyway. Maybe we meet up afterwards and.
Yeah. And if you're down by the beach, maybe just like, you know, stay kind of towards the south side. Keep an eye. See if anything crazy is going on the beach near the church.
Yeah, you bet.
I don't know what you can do, but like just having someone watching your back. And don't get me wrong, I trust the church. I trust the Reverend. It's just that one guy. I'm an asshole.
Yeah, you know, I can do that. I'm a pretty capable fella.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Hey, you bet, man. I'm just about done with these pots and pans, so I'm going to punch out in a minute. You almost done?
Yeah, I just got to count the register. You can go ahead if you want. I'll lock up.
All right. Good night.
Have a good night, Tom.
Cool. Tom, you going anywhere after work or?
So I think maybe after work I might I'll walk home maybe by Jackie's house. Every time I walk by Jackie's house, I would just kind of look over, see if she's around.
Is she around?
Yeah, I think so.
Is Maureen still there?
No, Maureen left, and then I went to see Evelyn.
Okay.
So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right. So So now you're coming back from Evelyn's, and I'm getting off work or coming back from the library.
Yeah. I probably get there, not long before you do.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey,
How you
how's it
doing?
going? I'm good, but
Hey, you look a little concerned.
there's a thing I want to talk to you about.
Oh yeah, anything.
So, how much do you know about Calvin's church?
Oh my God, I just had this big conversation with Cal
Oh,
about his church.
okay.
He's doing some kind of weird ceremony thing tomorrow
Yeah.
night. He's gonna miss the fireworks, but he's worried too about. He doesn't feel comfortable with that tram guy, tram. You know, the creepy
That guy. Yeah.
creepy hick dude. Priest who's not a priest. Yeah, so he's not doing that. He mentioned Evelyn was going to be there, but he asked me if I was going to be in the area, if I could just keep an eye over there if anything was not right. Is that freaky or what?
That's it's actually really good to hear. So Jimmy Traum is a creep, but I don't think he's the only one. I didn't say anything about this at the time because I don't know. I wasn't real lucid. But when I was a wolf, I ran into that church, and the old priest was there, and he started doing this hex thing, kind of like what Evelyn does. And
Old Man Wilkins?
Yeah, that's him. So he's got some kind of power. I could barely move. It was like being in mud or something that's like stuck to the floor. But that's not really maybe not the worst thing. He said I would make a good sacrifice. Yeah. And then I ran away. And so obviously I can't be a good sacrifice. And then he tells Calvin to invite Evelyn.
Yeah, we can't let Evelyn go there.
She wants to. She thinks
they're gonna kill her.
I mean, you want to talk her out of it, you can. Maybe you can do it better than I did, but I mean, she's got her own powers, and both of us do, and Calvin does too, apparently. And I'm glad to hear Calvin is suspicious because I thought we were going to have to, I don't know, talk him into.
You know about Calvin too?
Yeah, now Evelyn told me.
Yeah, he told me like a month ago, several weeks ago. And I just kind of laid low because I don't want him to know about me. Freak him out. So I haven't really talked to him about it again since until tonight.
I think we all kind of know about each other.
Oh.
I think that's good. I think we should all know now.
You and me, we got to be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got to be there unseen, but we got to be ready just in case.
Yeah, definitely.
And you got to be, ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Evelyn said that you all knew to stay out of my way, and I don't know how much. I didn't have much control over it last time.
And that hasn't happened since?
No, I haven't taken any Lao since. I mean, I haven't tried either, but
Well, we should try without the loud. Come on over. My mom's at work. We go in the basement, and we can do some training.
That is the best use of come over. My parents aren't home.
You know, I'm just gonna grab some chains from the shed because just in case. But
yeah, okay.
But yeah, we should. You gotta be on your A game here.
Okay, yeah, but I want you to have a weapon.
No, that's the chains. I chain you, or I could, I could chain you to the post or the furnace or the boiler or something, and then
Okay.
if you get out of control, then you're.
All you have to do is stand back. Okay. Sure.
I feel I would not be doing my job if I didn't ask you, Tom, if you wanted to roll plus hot here. But
Okay.
But I mean, that's totally up to you. I just feel like I should at least put that out there.
Yeah, that's fine. Why not? It's bicentennial. It only comes once ever. We're all selected. So that's a 7. I think my hot is -1. That's a 6.
Oh.
Is my hot -1, right? Yeah. That is a 6.
Okay. I think we can just play this. Hey, something will happen, but we'll just play this off as if you were trying to turn Jackie on, she missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have
not the
string?
most observant person.
Do you have a string on her?
I do.
Spend it.
I have 2. Oh no, I just have 1.
If you spend it, that bumps you to the 7 that you need.
All right, yeah, I'll spend it.
I mean, unless, where are you at with XP?
I've only had 3.
Up to you. Just pointing pointing out that that's there.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, why not? I'll spend it. I'll go. So that gives that adds 1 to the roll, makes it a 7.
Yep. The choices there are to either give Tom a string or one of the 3 reactions.
I feel like a string is potentially the most interesting.
Okay.
Oh, spend a string, gain a string.
Yeah, I'm already doing what you want, so.
Yeah. So
all right, but
there's string. Jackie,
it does mean that there's that moment where maybe Jackie looks at Tom and sees him in a little bit of a different light.
Yeah.
I'm pulling the string, Jackie in chains. Okay.
Well, now we know what Marine's band is going to be called.
Yes.
So why don't we use this opportunity to take a break, and then we'll come back, and it'll be July 4th, and we'll just bring this up into a climax of some kind.
Okay. And in the meantime, she was sharpening her werewolf skills so she could change on a dime.
Well, we'll see. All right. So see you guys in 5 minutes. Okay then. Cal, I guess you pick up Evelyn in the morning, or does anybody try to intercept you?
I think I pick her up. I think I've got my my parents' car.
Actually, let me just ask a quick game rule question. Kat, did you take a look at my hex I wrote up? Is that okay?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to implement that, but I think it will be probably pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like they kind of, most of them as written are a little open ended in that regard. So that seemed like it was it left some room for everybody to have fun with it. So, all right, cool. Please proceed. I just want to make sure you're good to go there.
For our broadcast audience, it's a hex that invokes cosmic indifference and crushing insignificance on the target. So.
Oh, yeah, I can read it. So one of the advances that you can take as the witch is, just to get some of the mechanics out of the way, one of the advances that you can take as the witch is to write a hex of your own. You get that once, and so I kind of leaned into the Lovecraft here. My hex is called Cosmic Indifference. The hex gains immediate and crushing insight to their true meaninglessness in the face of cosmic forces. They may catch a glimpse of old powers or gain sudden insight into the crushing weight of history. Regardless, it's an insight they won't be able to soon cast aside.
And you may end up moving to Rhode Island. Cool. So you swing by in your parents' car, huh?
Yeah, it has seen better days.
In your Sunday best?
In my, I think I'm not yet in my Sunday best because I don't want it to get dirty before tonight. But I'm dressed kind of the next step down. Whatever the nicest clothes I have that are not my very nicest clothes.
Like you were taking a pretty girl out on a date.
Exactly, a button down and slacks and shoes, no jeans and sneakers. The slacks are probably a little bit wrinkled. Yeah. So I pull up and I walk to the door and knock.
And I'm dressed for church.
I totally think that Evelyn's dad opens the door in his whites,
is Navy dress uniform, yeah.
Yep. You're Evelyn's. Evelyn, there's a young man here for you.
Yes, Dad, that's Calvin.
Calvin,
I'll be right down.
You're a Pemberton, aren't you?
I'm a Pemberton. Yes, sir.
Well, your father's a fine sailor. He taught me a few things when I was younger.
Yeah, someday I'd love to hear those stories, sir. My father is not one to talk about his youth.
I think he appreciates the sir bit. So.
And I come down the stairs. We've established I'm on the second floor. We've got a nice, raised ranch. And I come down the hall and down the stairs. Oh yeah, it's a raised ranch. So it's got that thing where you come in and there's like a landing and stairs go up half a flight and down half a flight. And so you guys are standing on the landing, like half a flight down, which kind of makes a little foyer sort of. And I come around the corner and it's not like, prom dance radiance. It's like, I have a skirt that goes to between my ankle and my knee and shiny black shoes and a cardigan. My hair is pulled back, and primly in a little, like a whatever. And I probably actually have a camisole, holding my clip to my, holding my sweater closed, something that I got from my great grandmother or something like that. So I look like a 16-year-old girl, dressed for church. New England girl dressed for church. And I say, thanks, Dad. Thanks, Daddy. I call him Daddy. Calvin's church is having a ceremony today, and he needs one of his friends to be a witness. So he's invited me to come along, and it's actually I'm quite flattered by it.
Well, that sounds fine, I suppose. Right, the esoteric people. All right, Just hope I see you later tonight, Pumpkin.
Are you? We're gonna go. We're gonna go watch the fireworks, aren't we?
You know it, darling.
I don't think it should take more than an hour or two, so I plan to be home. But of course, I will give you a call if that changes.
Perfect. I just am curious as to what awkward conversation you have in the car on the way over. And by the way, I like Tom's idea that you guys are covertly following. Probably, I'm sure you could acquire a car that will not be recognized at Jackie's place.
I just grab one of the cars that, like, is waiting to, I don't know, something that it'll still run, but just take one of those because somebody will totally notice, but who cares?
Perfect. So take it away, Evelyn and Cal.
You look real nice, Evelyn. I think
cut it out.
The Reverend will be happy.
Okay, just look. Give me something important to you.
Excuse me?
Give me something important to you. If I have to be able to see through your eyes, I need to be able to do it quietly. And to do that, I need something that's important to you.
How important?
Something you wouldn't think to just give me on a whim.
So I'm driving and I'm thinking. I get very quiet for a second because I didn't bring anything. I'm not. My attachments are generally more to places and people than they are to things. But when we stop at the red light, I stop. I say, "Am I going to get back?"
I hope so.
In that case, I reach into my pocket and I pull out my father's cigarette lighter that has the his Navy unit on it. I say, "This is probably," and this is also me being. I just look at her. This is probably the most important thing I own. I'm trusting you in an enormous amount.
You'll get it back.
And I give it to her, and the light changes, and we keep going.
Excellent. So you take her to the rectory of the Church of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, and while you're shown into the actual study of the place, and after a little while, the Reverend comes in wearing exceptionally weird vestments. Just, the color is wrong and the writing on it is not in a human language. And he just kind of very casually hangs things up on his coat rack and turns and goes, "Thou art the witching girl, yes?"
And I raise an eyebrow. And another 5 seconds to kind of decide if this dude is for real, and then just one curt nod.
"Thou hast signed his book and pledged thyself to him? Or have thou not done that?"
My powers are my own, and I owe fealty to no one.
Say'st thou that now? But in any case, we must work with what we have. Time there was when these woods were thick with witches. I would add my choice, some elder good wife of excellent character and good reputation. But these are fallen days, indeed. It is important that we get the blessing of the land, so that we do not anger it and the powers that keep to it. Art thou willing to commit to this ceremony?
You haven't told me what it is yet. I'd rather not be sacrificed if that's all the same.
Sacrifice? He looks at Cal. What hast thou told this girl?
I told her the same thing. I don't know what it is either, Reverend. I don't know where she got the idea of sacrifice, but Gentiles have strange ideas.
Why ever should I sacrifice a witching girl during a ceremony that I'm asking her to participate in? Think, child, think. Thou hast a reputation for being clever. Use thy wits.
I have a reputation. I have a reputation for being clever when I know what's happening.
We shall attempt a calling tonight. We shall speak to the elders who do not live in this place any longer. We have long been sundered from them. I wish to speak to our kind, and perhaps there will be other workings. We shall need thee to read from the books. Hast thou read the Necronomicon, the Book of Ibon? Perhaps. Please tell me you've read at least Ibon.
Not in the original Aramaic, no.
I find the translations easier to work with myself. Very well then. Thou shalt have words to say, and rituals to perform. My acolyte shall guide thee. We shall do this by the waters, under the Kingsport head, which was ever the place of our meeting. As thy reward, he looks around at all the books, saving the ones in that shelf which are sacred to my order. Takes thou one as thy reward.
Another curt nod.
Good, good. Galvin, make sure the girl is refreshed and cared for. We shall need to keep her here and rehearse the ceremony with her until the time at sunset.
Thank you. Reverend, can you tell me more about my part? What am I to do? Since no one's ever told me.
Perhaps thou shouldst ask the Reverend James about that. The ceremony is not one that I have performed for a long time. It was always a dangerous thing to do.
But he serves the dreamer, you said. What role does he have in this?
Our people have always honored the dreamer. And in these fallen days, when even our high archpriest Dagon can no longer shield us, we have need of deeper magic.
And I am, in that moment, utterly terrified at the idea that Dagon cannot protect me from Jimmy Trump.
Knowest thou not of our history, Calvin? The surface dwellers have grown strong. Innsmouth laid waste, our people scattered across this nation, and the other havens are not safe any longer either. Thinkst thou on what those godless Russians would do?
And like the fear, as he's saying this, is just like building up and building up. And I'd like to roll to keep my cool, if you'll.
I think that's entirely appropriate.
Excellent. My cold is pretty excellent, so let's hope that pans out. And that is a 8 plus 2, I think, is a 10. Yeah.
Cool. You gain insight. You may ask me a question about the situation and then take one forward.
All right. I want to know. who is really in charge of what's about to happen here. Is it Reverend Wilkins or is it Father Jimmy?
It's definitely Jimmy.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about. So I say to him, Father, obviously, Reverend, I bow to your wisdom, and the world is terrifying in every way, and I feel like, that being the case, shouldn't we just turn to Father Dagon and Mother Hydra and those who made us what we are and who we are and whose blood flows in our veins, and not turn our back on them to other false gods? And this is like probably very...
You say false god to him? That's awesome.
I think I do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think he gives you one of those curt, hard slaps right across the face. Do not deny the power of the dreamer. We have always honored him.
If you hit him again, you will not have a witch for your ceremony. Do you understand?
Bandy not threats with me, girl. But I shall...
That's not a threat. That's a promise.
Everyone, it's okay.
The world is a strange place now, Calvin. The water does not call our people as strongly as it used to. As much as I would like to believe that our families still have salt in their blood, I do not know if it's we are weak or the call has gone less urgent. But also thinkst thou, where did they test these devil weapons, these atomic bombs? But in the Pacific, near the place where our people were strong when we first had Congress with the land. These things are not accidental. I fear if we do not go to the water soon, there will be no generations left who can. We need the elders, and they are deaf to our call now.
Yes, Reverend. Salvation is in the waters, is in the depths.
As ever.
Like a ritual greeting response.
I think we should check in on Jackie and Tom.
So is the church is because it's so close to the water? I'm imagining it's probably on it's like on stilts.
I don't know. Is it over the water, Cal?
Not necessarily over the water, but just because for like storms and stuff like that to keep it.
So
yeah.
I think, so if I remember right, we put it like a little ways back from the beach, and it had like tunnels that led to the water, which probably during storms fill up. But there's like I think it's like a block or two back. It's not right on the. But there's definitely like crawl spaces and stuff underneath that, like for water flow when things get high in the tunnels and.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's because what I was thinking is maybe we kind of like pulled off a panel or something and kind of crawled underneath so we could listen up through the floorboards.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I have actually have a move that I've never used for this. But yeah, I'm gonna listen and like get as close as I can and listen to this conversation. And I roll with dark. Yay.
Well, then this will be entertaining.
Yeah.
Wait, what if I was like,
that's not bad.
Come under the. Oh, you forgot to roll. I was going to say, if I told you to come under and listen, use your werewolf senses, then you get a +1.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that would still be an 8.
Cool. So I guess you get to ask me one.
Yeah. What's their secret weakness?
For one thing, you're absolutely sure that the Reverend Wilkins is not completely clear about everything that's going to happen in this ceremony. But the other thing that suddenly sinks in with you is that isn't it kind of coincidental that the Lao showed up at the same time Jimmy did? And that somehow the Lao is very important in what's going to happen.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. And I have some in my pocket. Great. Because, yeah, I totally, got like a little, just a pinch of it. It doesn't need to be much, just in case.
So,
and I have something else just in case. And as soon as this conversation ends, I want to go find either Calvin or Evelyn. I have something I want to give them.
now I'm really curious as how. Actually, I could see you getting together with Cal, because my guess is Cal probably needs to get a little air, right?
Yeah. Okay. So as soon as he comes out,
I step outside, pull out a pack of cigarettes I stole from my parents.
right.
I think they're my mom's. I think she smokes Newports. And I take one out and I start, tamping it on my wrist, and I look in my pocket for my lighter and I realize I don't have it. So I put it away, and then I imagine you approach me.
Yeah.
I don't know, tell me what happens.
I'm still like under the crawl space, but like, there's, probably enough of a gap to reach through. Psst, Calvin.
What the hell?
Hey, look.
Jackie, what's going on?
We're down here waiting, like you told Tom, but I'm here too.
Hi.
Look, and I hand something through. It's like something wrapped in just a piece of like notebook paper. I say, give this to Evelyn. It's important.
What is it?
Just give it to her. It's
all right. Traum's got the Reverend wrapped around his finger, and I think they're going to destroy the church. I don't know. Thank you. And I
hand him a lighter too.
No, so yeah, I put the other thing in my pocket. I light my cigarette. I hand her back the lighter, and I walk out. Thanks.
No problem.
Thanks for keeping an eye out, and thank Tom too.
Hey, you're welcome.
He's right here.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Cal.
And yeah,
Okay then.
Can we hear, like, is Jimmy on? Is Jimmy Trom on scene? Is he at the church now or no?
He's definitely in the church
Okay.
somewhere.
Can we listen? Can we try and figure out, like, from underneath the church where he might be, and to listen and eavesdrop on him?
Yeah, I think the best way to handle that is for Jackie to use her enhanced senses again.
Okay.
Yeah, Jackie, see if you could find Jimmy Trom.
Yeah.
We got to keep tabs on him.
That's worth a +1, huh?
I'm real glad you gave me that +1. 7.
Yeah, actually, you hear somebody playing John Denver.
Of course.
In one corner of the rectory. So you're able to kind of crawl under there. Yeah. So what do you guys want to do with that? I mean, we could definitely do a scene. You could be eavesdropping on somebody else if you like. Or you can just get some insight on him, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get insight on him.
Okay, cool. Ask me a question.
Let me see. Where's a question? Well, it may or may not be about him. Who's in control here?
Surprisingly, it's not actually Jimmy. he's just very relaxed. He's playing Leaving on a Jet Plane, so maybe he's ready to get out of town. You get this sense just listening to how nonchalant he is, and maybe all your other little senses are kicking in. He has basically set everything up, and his plan is just to let things happen.
Okay.
And it's gonna unfold the way it's gonna unfold.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
So, short answer is everybody, maybe?
Okay. Yeah. So, basically attacking him would not stop anything.
No, I mean, you might get insight from him, but, yeah. He's spread a lot of wow around town.
Yeah. Yes, he has.
Yes, he has. Cool. So what's up next, guys? We can just push right on to the ceremony, or what do you want to do?
If someone who hasn't had a scene recently wants to jump in, they should do that. But otherwise, I would like to have that brief conversation the Reverend suggested with Father Jimmy.
Sounds good to me. Cool. All right, so I guess while you guys are listening, you hear Cal come in. And he puts down his guitar like, Calvin.
Father Jimmy, the Reverend Wilkins said I should ask you about the choreography of the ceremony.
Oh, well, I mean, there's a lot of things that will be done on your people's side that's calling upon Dagon and Hydra to give their blessings and dipping in the water, and I think flowers are strewn upon the waves. There's a lot of things like that. Ceremonial readings. All of that is, well, at one time it was maybe stronger. When your people were closer, united. But after that, the dream begins. And then you'll get to ask yourself exactly what you wish to dream yourself to be. We are who we pretend to be, Calvin. Are you troubled about something, son?
Father Jimmy, the Reverend tells me we have always respected the Dreamer's power. And, I'm just a kid. I'm not even, fully initiated yet. That's what's happening tonight. And I don't doubt the Dreamer's power for a second. And I appreciate your coming from where you're coming from. But where of the salt in the sea? My father pulls our bounty from it every day. And yeah, it's not maybe what it used to be. But that's what the sea teaches you. You think that, and that's the world. And I don't know. Maybe you can tell me what the Dreamer has to do with that, with us.
Well, we all dream, right, Calvin? I mean, you dream, I dream.
Had a dream or two lately.
Them that in the water, they dream as well. You may have a bit more of a proclivity for it. I don't think you need to worry too much, son. I'm not here to try and hurt anybody. I'm not going to stop it from happening either, because that's not what I'm here to do. I came here because, well, it's Independence Day, isn't it? I'm going to set people free.
Free from what?
No, it's not freedom from, Cal. It's positive freedom. Most people Most people like an animal raised in the zoo, and then you put it in a cage and you bring it to Africa. And if you did that, well, quite a few lions would just sit inside that cage waiting for somebody to come by and feed themselves, because it is scary to step outside your cage. But today, I'm going to open the cage door, and we'll see who steps through.
I'm going to say this is all a little bit above my pay grade. I just know I like where I'm at. I like my family. I like my church. I'm starting to like my friends. And yeah, that's tough sometimes, but I don't know I want you to open any doors for me. I'd like to stay right here for a little bit.
Calvin, I appreciate you like them, but I mean, assuming that your blood is run true, you'll go down into the water and live hundreds of thousands of years there.
I look forward to that day.
Your friends are going to be dust so much longer than they'd be your friends. I don't understand how your people deal with that, but you must have a way.
Look, and maybe one day I will, but right now, like I said, I'm just a kid, and this is all... Maybe I'm starting to grow up a little bit, but this is still... I'm ready to go a little deeper, I guess, and I sort of just, like, walk out. I'm done. Like, I don't need him.
Excellent. Cool. So, what does everybody do? Because sooner or later, Cal and Evelyn are going down by under the Kingsport head to meet. Yes, we shall gather by the ocean. The beautiful ocean.
So people kind of wander off and do their thing, and it sounds like there is absolutely nothing stopping me, if I were so inclined, to find a small, slender, like a folio-sized volume that I could just slip under my cardigan from that shelf he told me I'm not allowed to take any books from.
Yes, ma'am. Why don't you roll to keep your cool, though, just because this is interesting.
Sure. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of someone who's not him catching me doing it. Because, like, I feel like if he catches me, he'll go, like he'll be angry, but he knows he needs me for his ceremony, and so I could like probably like weasel my way out of that. But if someone else catches me, they're just gonna and specifically that I get caught when like I need to do it when Calvin's not there. Oh, am I? Yeah. That I'm gonna get caught doing it without Calvin there to cover for me.
Sounds fair.
All right. I was gonna say that Calvin catches me, but I don't think Calvin would get upset in that way. So that is an 8 plus my cold of 2 gives me a 10.
Okay, you totally swipe it, and you may ask me a question.
Oh, I may ask you a question. Are any of these things, like, I know my mom and I know the Miskatonic library and stuff like this. I mean, are any of these like that shelf that he said you're not allowed to take these? Are those, like, is it because they're sentimental or because they're like no kidding books that people should not be reading? Like is it a whole shelf full of like crazy mind-blowing Lovecraft stuff? Or is it like, I mean, like it's all occult stuff and churchy stuff and these are just the ones that are clearly important to him?
It's a little bit of both. There are books there that definitely look like they're just kind of ceremonial books, but then there's some books with some no kidding lore in them. But here's the thing: when you like leaf through your little folio you got, Yeah, there's some no doubt weirdo magic in this thing. But it's also quite clearly been a book that was used by a family. So there's like birth and death dates on the inside, and then occasionally you'll see like a birth date, and then next to it went to the water, along with
Yeah.
their new name written in a different language.
Cool.
Um,
So this seems like something that would be important to him.
yep. And then it breaks off quite suddenly in 1929.
Okay, cool. So does this? I'm my goal here is to get something that's a sympathetic token for him. So
Absolutely, this is then definitely a Wilkins family heirloom.
fantastic. All right, cool. Like I said, and it just goes, up under the back of my cardigan, on the small of my back, like the mean girls do when they go shoplifting. So
Perfect. Okay, cool. So you guys gather down in a little cove. Kingsport Head towers over you. You can see the lights of town, like a half a mile down the coast. Down there, they're all celebrating and drinking beer, but here everybody is quite sincere and quiet and chanting softly for the most part. So where are Tom and Jackie hiding?
I wonder if there's like maybe are there like little jetties like shoot out from the under the head.
Yeah, I would think there's probably something like that, like a breakwater maybe at least.
So yeah, maybe we're like kind of like with like kind of just big rocks, and we're just kind of crouched down and behind him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like on the far side.
Mhm.
and can we just take as read that Calvin passed me the thing for
What
the thing
what?
for me?
Yeah, the ceremony guide. Yeah, you've rehearsed it with Reverend Wilkins, who corrected you quite often on your pronunciation of Aklo and Enochian, but eventually just shrugged, like, it's probably close enough.
Sorry, no, I mean specifically they handed Tom and Jackie gave Cal something to give to me.
Yes. What was that you gave?
That was the thing that he lifted off of Jimmy.
Uh,
I thought you used that token.
the thing I gave him was something else.
Oh, I thought that's I thought that's what that was.
No, I didn't get a chance to lift anything off Jimmy.
Okay.
Wait, oh no, you used it last. Yeah, okay. No, what I gave Calvin, which I assume he like eventually gives to you, is like just like a folder of news or like not newspaper, no, like notebook paper, and it says "just in case" on it. And if you unwrap it, it's like this little medal, and it's from a 6th grade spelling bee. It's 2nd place. It's a spelling bee you won 1st place in. So this is both a sympathetic token and a like, I don't know, like a confidence builder or something.
Okay, that's totally awesome.
Excellent. Cool. So you're reading the words, and most of them just seem incredibly boringly ceremonial. And then right as the first fireworks start to go off, something changes. A mist comes in over the water, and you feel something in the air awakening. Some power, and then there's something that you can only sort of make out, and maybe Jackie can sort of make out, but it's like this intense yearning call.
I'm totally gazing into the abyss to see if I can figure out what's coming next.
That is totally fair.
And the way I gaze into the abyss is, whenever there's a call and response, I read ahead in the book.
Oh, excellent.
Like I do a quick flip to like see if to 2 pages ahead, and then I'm back to where I need to be because I've got my my finger stuck in it where the line is supposed to be.
I should mention, just so that Calvin knows, you're going to feel this far more intensely. But first, let's get this out of the way. Go ahead and roll. What are you asking the Abyss for? Oh, you want to know what's going to happen next, huh?
Name what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is some insight into how this ceremony is going to go.
Okie dokie.
Like, basically, like I want a little preview of what we're in for here, to try and give us a leg up. So let me see. I've got dark +1. That is an 8.
Oh, excellent. The visions are disturbing.
Confusing and alarming, but I get my answer nonetheless.
So the short answer, which you start to piece together in this horrifying way, is that this is a summoning spell of some kind, but it's being vastly intensified by accessing the psychic emanations of some being that you can barely put a name to. And with a sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach, you realize that the dream is awakening in the people in the town as well. And basically anybody who's on Lao right now is getting wrapped up inside the dream. But that's not the alarming part. The alarming part is when you look down at the book and you're like flipping through and flip back and you start seeing the words change and it just says, "Hello, Evelyn. We haven't had a chance to talk yet." Cal, what are you going to do? You feel the call of the waves so intensely right now.
I mean, now I am in what I think is my Sunday best. I changed. I pulled my change of clothes out of the car and changed in the church. And I think on top of that, I'm wearing like a ceremonial kind of robe over that. I think it's white. And I think it has I was going to say a hood, but that has connotations I don't want to evoke. So we'll say it has a high collar. Let's say that. I want there to be some prominent feature there. It's high collared. And I think I let the call of the water take me. And I walk in and I think I'm here. Tell me what you think about this. I think I'm hearing two things. Maybe even three, right? There's the sea and the deep, and the maybe even the deep ones below, sort of singing in my blood, but that's almost overpowered by this like expanded intellectual consciousness that's happening, right? Where like I'm being pulled into a little bit, right? And they're both happening. That's the stronger one. Maybe the other thing I'm hearing is actually something I'm hearing, which is Evelyn's voice in the call and response. Like just a little bit less, very deft with the pronunciation, but the accents aren't quite what the people of the church who are used to this particular language and these particular words have. So her voice is also kind of distinct. And I think what I want to do is try to listen to the sea. And I think that's gazing into the abyss.
That sounds like it. What is the question you wish to find out about?
I want to know what the deep ones want from me or for me. Like what's their desire?
Okay.
Dice roller. This is not going to go well. I can't imagine this will go well.
You remember, you still have that +1 hold you haven't spent on
Yeah,
yourself.
I was thinking about that. We'll see what the roll is. Also, do I get, like, does this... I don't know if this counts as doing something my family wants, like, as part of the ritual, or, like, going against it. Like, it's, like, very murky there.
It's very murky. I think if you want to claim it, you can, and we'll figure out how that looks.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna claim it. Oh, we'll see how the roll goes first. Oh, so that's a 9 minus at least 1, maybe 2. Minus 1 is 8. Yeah, I'm gonna claim. I think what happens is, like, this is my dream. This is my vision.
Okay.
And actually, I have the +1 from the previous keep your cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, so we don't need to get into any murky water about family or not family. I've got +2 from both of those. This is my vision, right? This is what I dreamed about. Hearing the voice of the deep ones, calling to me and telling me what they want from me.
Well, the nice thing is this is not metaphorical at all, because rising up out of the waves in front of you, and you realize now that you've kind of like wandered into the surf a little, it stands what to you looks like the most beautiful and elegant specimen of your people down in the water that you've seen, with the royal purple crest and the fine scales shading to aquamarine around their stomach, and you can see the gills clamp shut and the nostrils flare open, and it looks at you and goes, "Why, you're Pemberton. We're kin, boy."
And I get down on my knees, I think, so that my gills are just like I think the collar flares up to sort of cover my gills, and as I submerge, like, on my knees, I'm like up to my neck, and the collar clamps down, and my gills kind of open up as they get just below the surface of the water, and I say, grandfather, it is an honor.
So I want to do this scene, but I want to cut away real quick, because I think we need the reaction shot of Tom and Jackie.
Should we roll to keep our cool first to see what this will look like, or?
I think if you're asking me, then yes. At least
that seems fair. Yes.
I'm going. Yeah.
That's cold, right?
Yep.
That's a 7 plus my cold is, so that's 8, 9.
Okay, let's see. I have 2, 5, 7. Nope. Even it's still a 6.
Fantastic. And Tom?
So I rolled a 9.
Okay. 7 on 9. You realize that you've like stood up and kind of gasped, and you didn't think it was loud enough, but you see a couple people start looking towards the breakwater. You either need to run now, or you're gonna have to stand your ground, and they're gonna know you're there.
And by standing my ground, and I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna stand my ground.
Excellent. Yeah, when you look to your left, Jackie is running down the beach. Just seized by instinct. She just took off. Jackie, you're having one of those moments where you're not quite sure you remember exactly what's happening, but you're running down towards the beach, towards the congregation.
I was just going to ask what direction I am running in.
I feel like that's such a dark self.
So, grandfather puts his hands on your shoulder, Cal. Says, "It has been so long since we've come. You called us, but in a way that was not of our choosing.
I'm sorry, grandfather. I was worried. I just want to know your wish and beg of you peace and protection for our family.
Be of good cheer, Callan. There's salt in your blood. You don't need to worry about that. But you play with powerful forces here. Using the dreamer is always dangerous, and it's dangerous enough when it's just our people. But there's them in the town that are caught in the dream now. And worse. You would not know this because it's not been easy to come to the water. It may never be easy again. Our people may be sundered forever. But there were them that got took, that did go to the water eventually. But after what happened to them in the camps, they were not sane anymore, grandson. They were not well. And we kept them dormant and safe. And now you've called them to the surface. And they have forgotten none of their anger.
Guidance, grandfather? Anything?
The last thing that our people need is another Innsmouth. Do not let our wounded do a grievous wound to both our peoples.
Thank you, grandfather. Praise Dagon.
I shall see thee one day again in the waves. And he hugs you.
I stand and hug him back.
So Evelyn, how you doing? You're still muted, Jim.
I'm in the church. I'm at the pulpit, right? I've got the books. I'm talking. Everyone's looking at me, right?
Yeah, well, they were until one of the elders just came out of the waves.
Okay, so like that's a thing that we see going on and happening and all of that. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like, is there anything else going on here? Is it
Well, your book is talking to you, and then you look up and you see Jackie is running down the shore towards everybody.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jackie's running down the shore towards everybody. And she looks like Jackie?
Yeah, for the moment.
Okay. So I finish whatever line it is I'm on and like slam the book shut. And I'm gonna start. So I get like the back of the church is open.
No, you guys are out actually underneath.
Oh, we're
Kingsport
down.
End.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay, we're outside. Yeah. Okay. So I slam the book shut, and I start running towards Jackie, and I'm just yelling at her. Now, do it now. Just let go. Don't be a pussy. And like, so I have a string on her, and I'm gonna spend my string to try and tempt her to go darkest self to do her wolf thing.
I'll take it.
Sound?
I'm not sure how. Can I just choose to go darkest self when I want to, or is that a roll? Or
I don't think there's any strict rules on it. So, okay. I mean, if you want to become an inhuman, terrifying wolf creature and crave power and dominance, and
actually, can I turn into a wolf without going darkest self? Because that's the idea. Is I want to control it.
Yes, if you keep your cool.
Awesome. Because
that's going to work.
I'm very cold.
And Tom yells, just like we practiced.
If you want to claim, yes, if you want to claim the +1 forward from before, I think that applies because this is definitely, that the situation is complicated, and I don't think I can let you get that light the way thing there, Tom, because this really wasn't your idea.
That's a 4.
Yeah. You change and you're like, I did it. And then you're like, and I can't stop it.
Yeah.
As the wolf just kind of races into your brain. But I'll give you this much. The wolf is not really sure what it is supposed to be doing here. It's not sure if it should be swimming out in the waves to attack that giant fish thing. If it should just jump on Jimmy. Actually, it wants to jump on Jimmy.
It wants
to kill Jimmy. That. Yeah, it wants Jimmy.
It definitely, yeah.
Yep. So you're making a beeline straight for Jimmy.
Yeah, even though I consciously I know that this is not gonna stop anything. It's out of his control now. But I've been thinking about how creepy and awful this guy is for weeks now, and it's
we see the slow motion of Reverend Wilkins going, the imp!
Yep.
Cool. Tom and Cal, what are you guys doing? Evelyn, you've done enough damage for the moment.
I think Tom is it's time to end this. And I'm going for Wilkins is still leading the ceremony?
Well, he's sort of
presiding?
Less right now, but yeah, I mean, he's still technically leading it, yes.
He sort of is. Okay. So I guess I'm trying to figure out who Tom sees as the greatest threat at the moment. Is probably Wilkins, right? Picturing this right? Yeah. So Tom's it's time to end this, and he just wants to basically stop Reverend Perdition Wilkins. Not necessarily kill him, but just stop him from chanting and bringing this thing any further.
Excellent. Cool. So, all right, Cal, what are you doing? Because you see Tom making a beeline for the Reverend.
All right, so I want to grandstand for a second. I'm turning around and I am running, soaking wet in these, so not that fast, through the water, right? Too shallow to swim, shouting, I have word from the deep ones. Our ancestors have spoken, and this must stop. And I want to give Tom a second to react to that, I think, if that's...
So I think when he says that, I look for any indication from Wilkins as I'm running towards him if he's planning on stopping or if he's just going to keep going.
He's lowered his arms. He's looking at the wolf. He's looking at you. He's looking at Cal, just with a completely puzzled look on his face of what is going on?
The dreamer, and maybe not the dreamer, for he knows not what. I don't know if he knows what he does, but that man has corrupted this town and invited disaster upon our community.
Okay, cool. So Jackie, nobody's going to get in the way of a rampaging giant wolf. So if you want to lash out with violence at Jimmy, go right ahead.
I very much want to lash out with violence at Jimmy, or at least the wolf does. Let me see my course here. It's too volatile. That is a 6, unless I don't have a string on him. It's at 6.
Okay.
Also, I just leveled up.
That's good. You come running up and you leap, and he was like just reaching inside his guitar case, and he comes up holding a silver dagger, and you're like, hey, I wonder if that's going to, and it hurts more than anything in the world. Please take 1 harm. Yeah. And then he says a word, and you're naked on the beach. Back in human form. I'll just spend that string he has on you.
Yep.
You're bleeding pretty bad. That wound looks terrible. It's like all blackened on the edges. Tom, you see Jackie go down.
Yeah, so I think I immediately changed direction towards. I imagine that Jimmy Tran was pretty close to Wilkins during this.
Oh, yep.
Okay, so I kind of change course, and I do some Buffy style parkour flips and grab a piece of pick up this giant piece of driftwood, and I want to try and whack Jimmy Tran with it.
Please lash out with physical violence.
So that is an 11 plus 1 is a 12.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you definitely harm him. He's not going to be able to hit you back, so he'll take a harm. And then cool. Sorry, 1 sec. It's definitely not going to be enough to hurt him. I mean, not take him out. So, cool. Evelyn, what are you doing?
I'm watching all this craziness go on, and I'm like for a second it looks like I'm gonna go run and join them, and then I kind of cock my head, and my eyes narrow, and is the platonic fishman still standing there in the surf?
I think he's sinking back into the waves.
Okay, so I'm running towards him, and I start yelling at him, "Hey! Hey! Hey!"
At the deep one?
Yeah.
Okay. So he stops, surprised, turns around, and goes.
And I get right up to the edge of the surf, and I say, "Listen carefully." And I hold my hands up like this, and I say, "The land says no. I speak for the land. The land says no. You can't have this."
Girl child, do I look like I want the land?
And that's when I'll hex him when he looks at me.
Please, I invite you to roll.
All right, let's see what we got here. That is a 7 plus 1 is 8. So it is a 7 to 9. Sorry, and I should have said which hex I was doing on him, which is the Cosmic Indifference hex. The one that causes him to realize just how insignificant and tiny and meaningless all of this struggle, even with his 10,000 years, he's nothing. So 7 to 9 for the hexing means it works, but I choose 1. I'm going to take a harm.
Okay, cool.
And I think I with that hex, I think just saying the words, like my eyes start to bleed.
Yeah, you're definitely getting feedback in on this,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
because the dreamer is manifesting himself in the minds of the town.
Yeah, there's a. I'm probably lucky if I don't come out of this with like an aneurysm. But like I've got the like trickles of blood coming out of my tear ducts, like down my cheeks.
Well, to be honest,
with that.
what happens to Grandfather Pembleton is he falls on his knees in the surf and he is weeping salt tears because you have reminded him of the crushing weight of history and how so many of the people that he thought would come down into the water with him were taken away cruelly by the actions of the U.S. government. Fantastic. Good job. Meanwhile, Cal, Jimmy reaches out through the dream to you and pulls a string on you to please do something about Tom.
Here's what I do. I think I call out to the people who, in my vision, are the most relevant and competent right now. Tom, Reverend, Evelyn, Grandfather has told me that the dream caused by that man is pulling up those of our ancestors who were cut off from us and lost and have been sleeping and who have been perverted by what the land did to them. Pounding him to a pulp won't save us. The town or the community, that will be another Innsmouth if this happens. We need to know how to stop them, and he may be the only one with the answers. Unless, Reverend, you know a way to put a slumbering perverse deep one, a waking perverse deep one back to sleep. Look at him. He weeps for what will happen.
The Reverend
So
gulps.
I don't know if that counts as getting Tom as trying to interfere with Tom for Jimmy.
Tom, do you stop and listen?
I think I
week.
listen, but the moment he's done, I think I'm like, I look back at Jimmy Trom, and I'm like, I'm free, and I hit him again.
Yeah, that was a weak move on my part.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
I'm not gonna kill him. I'm just gonna, beat him up a little bit.
Okay. Cool. If you're just trying to like knock him down without killing him,
yeah,
you totally do that. There's not even a rule for that. You just like flip the driftwood and knock his legs out from under him, and he falls on his ass.
Yeah, I kind of like want to like put him in I want to interrogate him essentially on like how to stop this.
Okay. So the Reverend, you can see his gills open. He's so nervous. Says, there are charms to help put our people to sleep, but they're dangerous to say around landsmen because they might use them on us. But I suppose the circumstance required, I could share this knowledge with thee. Jimmy is just, once he got over the shock of being knocked on his butt, he just sort of puts himself up on his elbows and he's grinning again.
That fucker.
It's like, Tom, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm not controlling any of this. People took the Lao powder on a night that a ceremony was worked to call forth them who are in the water. Do you think that I'm the only guilty party here? Do you not think that in your town of Kingsport, the town that you want to spend your whole life in, that there's not sin and guilt and pain and shame? I assure you there is. But if they took the Lao of their own free will, I'm not going to say that I didn't have some complicity in this, but they're in the dream now, Tom. They're free to do whatever they want. In time, it will wear off, and they'll be fine again, I suppose. I mean, I suppose that depends what people do when they find out they're free.
So I think as he's talking, like Tom has the piece of driftwood up over his shoulder, and he's just kind of waiting for him to finish speaking. And then when he's done, I just want to knock him unconscious. I'm done with him.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
Bonk.
So,
and then I turn towards Reverend Wilkins to see what he does. Is he going to do this? Is he going to do this little charm thing?
I have to be there where they are. Tom.
Can we see them? Can we see them coming from the water yet?
No, but but Jackie can hear people screaming in town.
Oh, they're already there.
Well, maybe they're screaming in town. That
Great.
much I can tell you.
They're screaming in town. Good to know. Yeah. So, I get up off the ground. And just tell them I hear someone screaming in town. I don't know what to do about it, but we have to do something. Any ideas?
So we need to bring Wilkins into town in order to do his ritual.
Reverend, how complicated is the charm?
It's just a song. You sing half of it in the litany. We just don't teach the other half.
Teach me the other half quickly.
Okay, that's not a problem. He can totally do that. And Evelyn, you can totally pick this up as well.
Wonderful. I say to him,
Hey, fun story. It actually sounds very much like the hex you wrote for yourself.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Should I grab Jimmy's guitar just in case we?
Yeah, no.
Does that help?
I mean, it's at least a weapon.
Well, I meant to play along while they sing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Reverend, will you guard the shores to keep more from coming, so that later we may return to the deep?
Such has ever been my fate. I am the lighthouse keeper of this town, it seems. And he shrugs and sighs and will accompany you down the beach to Kingsport.
Thank you, Reverend. So I want him to stay on the beach while the rest of us go into Kingsport. Like got it.
Yeah, he'll wait by the piers and stuff. So, as you arrive in town, there seems to be a riot in process.
Great.
Jackie woke up. She woke up naked on the beach. Did she grab a robe or something from one of the cultists, or are you still?
I think Cal's dad throws his vestments over her. Your dad is a nice guy. Your mom is like,
nice of him, yes.
Your mom is snorting about how improper all this is, but
I think before we leave, I nudge Jimmy with my foot. I'm trying to wake him up, but he probably doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to get up anytime soon. But he's still breathing. I mean, Tom didn't kill him yet.
Yeah, that's good. It's too bad Tom knocked him out quite that hard, because he might know some way to make the Lao, some way to cancel it out, or
I guess Tom hit him because he thought he didn't have anything more to help. Like
right? Yeah, no, that's
offer.
totally good. That's
So, yeah. So the town has apparently not reacted well to being existentially free. You know, you can see people are there's clearly people engaged in fights on the streets. People have they're going for guns. There's baseball bats. Windows have been smashed in. But then the more blood-curdling screams are coming from down by the waterfront. So, Evelyn, as you guys, I assume, start moving quickly towards there, you come across a horrid tableau. There's two of these fishmen. One has been knocked on the ground and shot by a storekeeper with a shotgun, but is not dead. There are several people who have been struck, whether they were struck by other humans or by these fishmen, you're not sure. But the thing that catches your attention immediately is the fishman who has clawed your father so that blood is pouring through his white uniform and is kind of just lifting him up like this. What do you guys do?
So I think, well, I mean, obviously the immediate thing is that I need to take care of this, to deal with this fishman that's got my father. So I'm gonna, you know what? Although I probably can't make eye contact with it.
Maybe if somebody distracts it?
You know what?
I can distract it.
I turn to Jackie and I say, it's still in you. Go let it out. And I basically shove her in the direction of the fishman.
Yeah, I will do that.
Excellent.
Try to keep some control. I'm not actually trying to go darkest self, like trying to turn into a wolf without that part.
Wait, Jackie. And I grab one of the chains that were on the along the little, that was like part of the decorative fence, and I throw it over your shoulders, and I just say, just so you feel like you're like you're in control. Remember and do it just like we did in the basement.
So another fun fact about July 4th, 1976. It was waxing first quarter.
Yep. I looked it up.
So yeah, you're definitely basking in the moonlight as you transform into a wolf and dive at this guy.
Yeah.
So I think it drops Mr. Morgan, or Lieutenant Morgan, I guess, and turns on you. Why don't you lash out with physical violence? Because that seems to be what you're doing.
It is.
He's in the Navy, so it's probably Commander Morgan.
Whoa. He's not just a sonar officer at some point. He's probably going to be an XO if he
could be Lieutenant Commander.
Yeah, Lieutenant Commander. 8.
Actually 9 with the plus one.
That's excellent. Well, it's kind of excellent.
Yeah, mostly excellent.
Oh, but your harm is reduced by 1, so that is actually good. Cool. So yeah, you knock him down and do some harm to him. And one. He drops Lieutenant Commander Morgan. He takes a swipe at you, but the moonlight shines on you, and your wounds close up immediately.
Nice.
Evelyn, what do you do?
I'm screaming at Calvin's with us, right? We're all 4 of us together?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm screaming at Calvin that we need to get my dad to the hospital now.
I say, you sing the litany, I'll get him to safety. And I run, and is he unconscious, or is he? I sort of am like.
I think he's I think I don't know whether he's unconscious or not, but like he's been eviscerated.
Sir.
Yeah, he's going into shock for sure.
Sir, we need to get you to. We need to get.
Just go. Don't talk to him. Just go.
I pick him up as much as I can, and I start making for the nearest. There's a riot going on, right?
Oh yeah, but as you pick him up, the wounded deep one, the one that got shot by the shotgun, looks at you and says, "Cousin, what are you doing? Leave the landsmen. They're nothing but murderers."
I bite him.
Oh.
That's my girl.
I need a roll here, but sure.
I look at her in horror as she does it and just keep running.
7.
7?
No, 8.
8? Cool. Yeah, you hit him, you grab him by the throat and shake him, and he's not moving. And again, he clawed you pretty bad, but the wounds just are closing right up. So cool. You're running. Tom, what are you gonna do?
So is the fishman that had Lieutenant Commander or Commander Morgan, he's still standing there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to take that guitar that I took from Jimmy, and I'm going to just crank it into it. Like I got kind of behind him, and I just crank it into I'm just crank it into the back of him. Maybe get the guitar strings to wrap around his neck.
Cool.
As it shatters.
And yeah, Cal, you'll give me that roll while Tom makes his roll.
Roll a tile, right?
Yep.
I'm an 8.
Excellent.
I am a 9. Plus 1 is 10.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, let me know which one you choose. Tom, you do a harm to this guy. You hit him pretty hard with the guitar. Wrap the string. It shatters. He screeches. You're grabbing the strings and wrapping them around his neck, trying to garrote him, I guess. He's clawing you pretty bad, so please take a harm.
Do I still have my harm from last time?
It seems to me that nobody did anything about that, so yes.
Okay. All right, so that's 2.
Yeah, you haven't been sleeping well.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. So, Cal, what did you choose there?
So I think I rolled a 10, so I should just, right? I get away to a safe place.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I thought you got a 9 total.
Yeah, it was a natural 9 and then volatile plus 1.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. So you're running through the streets of town. You run past the cop, or the constable who's kind of standing on top of a car, shrieking at people mindlessly. Yeah, actually, this is kind of a problem. You're not really sure what's still open, so I guess you just keep running. I mean,
I'm a runner.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Run, Calvin, run.
I think I just put my head down, soaking wet, and I don't know. I run to I want to get him to a hospital. I don't know where the hospital is, but if there's to get him to critical care, to get him, just someplace.
Okay. Yeah, you get up to the hospital, and it's full of people right now, and a lot of people have lost their stuff, but and of course some of the doctors, because doctors are never abuse drugs, right? But not as many, and they take one look at Commander Morgan oh boy, okay, what's going on down there? We're getting a lot of slash wounds in here. Is there some kind of tiger loose?
It's the bicentennial, people are going nuts.
Cool.
Everyone's drunk.
So down the waterfront, Maureen has come down to see you guys try throttling this deep one. Looking around like she just looks at Jackie like, okay, and looks at Evelyn and just like, can I help?
Get your amp, I say.
I got my amp. I'm gonna walk around and I'm gonna leave the amp out.
Plug it in. Give me a microphone.
Okay, cool. Tom, what are you gonna do about this deep one? Meanwhile,
I guess I need to make sure that the deep one doesn't interfere with Evelyn doing this chant. So I'm going to just keep. I think since with the guitar strings wrapped around it, I'm kind of like fighting a fish and just kind of like, just keeping it away from interfering.
I think the appropriate move here is keep your cool. Then.
Okay. Six. So that's that's a 6, but I have +2, so that's an 8.
Okay, excellent. We'll make it easy. You can do it. You're just gonna get clawed up really bad.
Okay.
So take another harm.
Okay.
Actually, take another harm after that too.
So that's 4 or 4.
Yeah, I know. What are you gonna do? You have 2 choices there. You go Darkest Self, or you give up all your strings, or you die.
I think I'm going Darkest Self.
Excellent. I believe your Darkest Self is pretty nasty. Like you need to seek out.
Well, none of my friends can help. They're not strong like I am. I need to chase down the biggest threat imaginable immediately and alone. Any challenger or dangers that you encounter must be faced head on, even if they might kill you. So if the big C shows up, I'm going for him.
What is the biggest threat here? Oh, what do you think? Okay, no, I know what it is. You look down on the beach and you see 3 more of these fishermen coming out of the water, and the Reverend is yelling at them, and they're just blowing right past him. So yeah, I think you just take off. Jackie, what do you do?
If I see where Tom's going, I'll also go after them.
This is fantastic. Okay. We're running up against time here. So I think the thing to do here is, Evelyn, I'd like you to roll with dark, please.
Nine plus 1 is 10.
Cool. So between your chanting and Maureen's ad-libbed funky bass line, the song is echoing across the beach. However, I think Tom and Jackie, I'd like you both to roll with volatile as you leap into the surf and start tangling with fishmen.
Sure thing.
Nice. 11.
Excellent. 8? Okay, cool. Tom, you're able, you get into the fight of your life with this fish guy. And it's great. It's all your training. It feels like one of your D&D games. I mean, you're kicking ass. You're doing so well that, you eventually, at one point, you're fighting 2 of them at the same time. And as the song goes out, you put one down. You don't know if he's dead, but he falls into the surf. Maybe he gets washed out to sea. The other one just sort of goes down into the waves. The third one blows past you, leaking, let's assume it's blood, as it dives into the water, and you look back and you just see the waves rolling over Jackie. Jackie, you've taken 4 harm.
Oh, good.
Well, you've taken your 4th harm.
Yeah, okay. Oh no, I'm not already darkest self. That was the point. Yeah, so I guess I'm darkest self now.
Oh dear. Yeah. The wolf is hurting, and all it can smell is the fish and threat off of Tom.
Oh boy. This is why I told you to get a weapon, Tom.
Tom improvises.
What are you gonna do, Tom? By the way, your harm is healed when you went into your darkest self.
Okay. So, so I'm still in my darkest self because I am until somebody comes to my rescue or I wake up in the hospital. So I think I'm still tracking down biggest threats.
That would be Jackie.
Okay. Oh no. So I guess if I'm in my darkest self and she's the let's see. I need to chase down. So I'm going to try and restrain the werewolf.
Okay.
And I wake up in the hospital.
I like that. I'll accept that with the proviso that we don't know where Jackie is at that moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So Evelyn, as you sing the litany and you look up at that moon in the sky, you realize that you're not looking at the moon because the moon is not full. You're looking at an enormous yellow slit irised eye that sort of glances down at the town, blinks twice, and vanishes. And then slowly all through the town, people start putting down their weapons and coming out of stuff and looking around. And you look down on the beach and see Tom lying there, bleeding heavily. So you're probably the one that gets into the hospital.
Yeah, me and Maureen, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, as Kingsport is wont to do, they sort of just don't talk about what happened. They write it up as a pretty bad drunken brawl during the bicentennial. Let's do some epilogues. Let's start with Evelyn. I have only one question. What happens to your dad?
Oh, I think my like he lives because I'm not going to do that to Calvin. But he's like I think he's basically like that is a like that's disability for life. The kind of injury that he had is, I think, what it is. And
So
yeah.
Is he on shore duty or is he just retire and take his pension?
He retires and takes his pension, I think. I think he's got enough years in that, with VA and all that kind of stuff. And technically he was on duty when it happened.
So how does the rest of your summer go?
I think it's really strange. Because I'm like visiting him in the hospital every day. And I think that yeah, I'm visiting him in the hospital every day. I also think he doesn't, like with everybody in town, his memory of exactly what happened and how it all went down is probably fuzzy and indistinct. And I do nothing to disabuse him of the idea that, like, there was a riot and somebody, cut him open with a beer bottle, or switchblade, and he doesn't really remember what happened. And I do absolutely nothing to disabuse him of any of that. And I think I'm going to be, and just kind of rest of the summer is taking care of my dad. Like, I'm not going to friendlies. I'm not like if people want to come see me, I'll visit with them. But I'm not going out. I'm giving it a couple months off till school starts again.
Excellent. So Cal, one thing I will tell you is while not everybody remembers everything, some people remember enough that people look at you with a different now. There's a respect among the people that have retained any memory because they know what you did and what you sacrificed.
When we say the people, do we mean like the Deep One people, or do we mean the people of Kingsport?
Both. I think
Okay.
there's plenty of people that know that you saved Evelyn's dad's life, and some people know that you saved Evelyn's dad's life from your own people.
So I think the idea isn't fully formed yet in my head. But I think what the Reverend, both the encounter with my ancestor and also what Reverend Wilkins said on the beach, that his role was to be the lighthouse. I think that really spoke to me, and also just like the sheer violation of what Jimmy Trom did to my people, to my town, right? That we'd been trying to live in peace, and yeah, we were not fully of the land, but we've been trying to do our thing and be ourselves, and he came and he tried to destroy that in the name of something, not sure what. And I think I start spending more time with the Reverend, and I think like there's maybe a germ in my head of going into ministry. I don't know if it's like full blown yet. Like we said, we were all juniors, right? But I think my parents had wanted for me to go to college, not like a great school, but Miskatonic Tech, or if I was real lucky, Lowell Tech, and like become like a kind of more temporal leader that could like do something, like be a part of the town and integrate the two peoples and keep us kind of safe, not integrate them, but like try to keep us sort of like get some of that temporal power back, the college degree. And I think I'm starting to see maybe a different path to some of the same goals. So there might be some tension there. I don't know, or not. So like I think my summer is I'm still working at Friendly's. I probably stop by to see Evelyn once or twice, see how her dad's doing. But like as the summer goes on, that's happening, less and less. I don't know what's up with Jackie, and sometimes I run by Tom's house in the morning because I'm still running. And I don't know if I run into him or not. But he's on my mind. I think that's the summer.
I will point out the irony that Jimmy came into town professing to be a preacher whose job it was to reach out to people by having the common touch. Tom, how's the rest of your summer go? How badly are you messed up?
I think Tom maybe spends a few days in the hospital, but mostly like bumps, bruises, cuts, maybe a concussion. But within a couple of weeks, he's back at home. He gets home. There's a Mom with a Pile of Mail. He got a postcard from Missy from LA, and then I think he tries to talk Jackie into doing we should do like weekly werewolf practice just so that we get good at it before we need it again, and then just kind of play some D&D, smoke some pot. He was hoping to keep Jimmy's guitar, but it was smashed to bits. So, but he still has his nice one that he got. So he plays some more guitar. Just kind of enjoys the summer, kills a vampire here or there, and looking forward to senior year.
Yeah, like you do. Jackie, so what happens with you?
Yeah, after that night in the chaos, I kind of sneaked away and went and like hid in the woods out of town, or I just like vanished for a couple weeks, because I am determined to like get control of this before I like before I return, so I'm not a threat to people. So yeah, I just like vanished for a couple weeks, and people probably assumed that I drowned or was killed by a fish person or something. But
I'm pretty sure Marine probably leaves you food and stuff.
Yeah, I probably like at some point see her, just kind of, I don't know, walking through a park or something, and she spots me before I can get away. And yeah, we have a short discussion where like, okay, yes, I'm alive, and what's been happening, and catches me up on everything. And yeah, after I kind of, get a what seems like a reasonable handle on it, I come back and have to explain to my parents why I vanished. Actually, no, I don't explain to my parents why I vanished. I just won't. There's nothing I could say that would.
I mean, it's not like your family isn't the kind of family where sometimes people just vanish for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's true. I've just never done it before. They probably see it as a mark of maturity. Yeah. Let's see. I think I start playing with Maureen's band again. I play the drums. Try to get Tom to play with us too. And
just rhythm guitar though.
That'll work. It's Maureen is the only one of us who's ever going to be famous. The rest of us are just having fun.
That's really nice. Great. So that sounds like a good place to end this chapter. Maybe one day we can reunite and do Kingsport 77, which will be about getting KISS tickets, I think, probably. I want to thank everybody for a really wonderful experience. This was pretty much what I wanted it to be, what I hoped it would be, and you guys were super on point. I'm gonna just paste the little Discord link here. And
we were all old enough.
Yeah. At least most of us. Yeah. So some of you, Dylan, I know for sure I will be seeing in 1692.
Yes.
And
in 1692.
Yeah, and I think in 62 as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, yep. I'm signed up for both.
Excellent. Well, maybe we can meet more of Tom's family.